Good morning, everyone. Today I want to take you on a fascinating journey into the world of the mind, a place where imagination meets reality, a phenomenon called lucid dreaming. A lucid dream is a dream in which you become aware that you are dreaming. Unlike ordinary dreams where you are just a passive observer, lucid dreams place you in the driver's seat. Imagine flying across mountains, walking on water, meeting your favorite role model, or conquering your deepest fears, all inside the limitless world of your subconscious. That is the power of lucid dreaming. Lucid dreams have been studied for centuries. Ancient civilizations believed they were spiritual experiences, gateways to higher wisdom. Today, science confirms that lucid dreams occur during REM sleep when the brain is active, almost as if you're awake inside the dream world. With practice, people can actually train themselves to become lucid while dreaming through techniques like reality checks, dream journaling, and meditation. But why is lucid dreaming so important? First, it enhances creativity. Many artists, inventors, and writers have drawn inspiration from their lucid dreams. Second, it allows us to face our fears in a safe environment. Someone struggling with nightmares or anxiety can use lucid dreaming to reshape their experiences and build confidence. And third, it connects us deeply to the hidden parts of our minds, teaching us that the limits we feel in the waking world often exist only in our thoughts. Think about it. If you can control your dream, then you can also learn to control your mindset when awake. The courage you gain from flying in a dream can become the courage to chase your goals in real life. The creativity you discover in your dream can fuel solutions in your career or studies. In other words, lucid dreaming is not just a nighttime adventure, it's a tool for personal growth. Friends, the human mind is vast, and lucid dreaming is one of the doors that remind us how extraordinary we really are. It teaches us that imagination is not fiction, it is power, and the more we learn to harness it, the more we can break barriers in our waking life. So tonight, when you go to bed, remember, sleep is not just rest. It can be exploration, it can be discovery, it can be freedom. Lucid dreaming shows us that even when our eyes are closed, our potential is wide awake. Lucid dreaming is more than just an unusual sleep phenomenon. It is a powerful journey into the untapped potential of the human mind. Imagine for a moment closing your eyes at night, slipping into sleep, and then suddenly realizing that you are in a dream. You are no longer just a passenger being taken on a ride through random images and events, but instead, you are the one steering, choosing, and shaping every detail of the dream world around you. This experience, which we call lucid dreaming, is not a fantasy reserved for the gifted or mystical, but a reality that anyone can explore with awareness, patience, and practice. When you become lucid in a dream, you gain the ability to experience life without limits. In the waking world, we are bound by gravity, by rules, by the natural order of time and space. Yet in the dream world, the laws that govern daily life no longer apply. If you want to fly, you can soar through the sky with the freedom of a bird. If you want to visit another world, you can create it with a single thought. If you wish to face a fear, whether it is standing before a crowd or confronting a personal insecurity, you can do so in a safe and controlled space where nothing can truly harm you. This makes lucid dreaming not only thrilling, but also deeply transformative, because it teaches you that your limitations are not as fixed as they appear. One of the most valuable aspects of lucid dreaming is its power to enhance creativity. Great thinkers, artists, and inventors have drawn inspiration from dreams, but when lucidity is added to the mix, creativity rises to another level. Inside a lucid dream, you can experiment with ideas, test inventions, compose music, or even paint landscapes beyond what your waking imagination could easily access. The subconscious mind holds a treasure chest of images, feelings, and inspirations, and lucid dreaming is the key that allows us to unlock it. What you create in a dream can then be carried into the waking world, fueling innovation, art, and problem solving in ways that often surprise us. But creativity is not the only benefit. Lucid dreaming also gives us a chance to confront our fears and reshape our emotional responses. Many people struggle with nightmares that leave them shaken and powerless. Yet within a lucid dream, a nightmare can be transformed. Instead of running from a monster, you can turn and face it. Instead of falling endlessly, you can choose to fly. These moments are not just dream games, they impact the waking mind. When you overcome fear in your dream world, you strengthen your courage in real life. You begin to realize that fear is often nothing more than an illusion, and if you can conquer it in your subconscious, you can certainly conquer it in your reality. The beauty of lucid dreaming is that it also fosters self-awareness. To become lucid, you must first train your mind to recognize when it is dreaming. This often involves practicing mindfulness and awareness during the day, asking yourself questions like, "Am I dreaming?" By doing this regularly, you cultivate a heightened sense of presence that carries into both the dream world and the waking world. This practice helps you live with more intention, noticing details you once overlooked, becoming more reflective and more connected to yourself. In this way, lucid dreaming is not just about escaping into fantasy. It is about waking up to life in its fullest sense. Science has confirmed that lucid dreaming occurs during the REM stage of sleep, when the brain is active and vivid dreams are most likely to appear. Researchers have even shown that skilled lucid dreamers can signal to scientists during sleep by moving their eyes in predetermined patterns. This means that what was once dismissed as a mystical idea is now backed by real evidence. The mind, even while sleeping, has levels of awareness that we are only beginning to understand. This is exciting because it proves that human consciousness is far deeper than we once believed, and lucid dreaming is one way we can explore that depth. What makes lucid dreaming truly fascinating is its connection to personal growth. The ability to shape your dream can lead to the realization that you also have the power to shape your life. If in a dream you can choose courage over fear, creativity over stagnation, and freedom over limitation, then why not carry that same mindset into the waking day? Lucid dreaming teaches us that the borders between imagination and reality are not as rigid as we think. The confidence, creativity, and self-discovery we gain while dreaming can transform how we act when awake. So, when you lay your head down tonight, remember that sleep is more than just a time for rest. It is an opportunity. Each night carries the possibility of unlocking a world where you are in control, where you are the creator of your own experience. Lucid dreaming reminds us that even in the silent hours of sleep, our minds are alive with possibility, waiting to be discovered. It shows us that life is not limited to what we see and touch during the day, but that within us lies a vast, endless space where we can grow, heal, and create. And when we learn to embrace that space, both our dreams and our waking lives become extraordinary. Lucid dreaming is one of the most extraordinary abilities the human mind can experience because it does more than entertain. It expands the boundaries of our imagination and gives us tools to shape our emotional lives. When you realize that you are dreaming, you are no longer a passive character in a random story, but an author with the power to direct the narrative. This sense of awareness opens doors to creativity that would be difficult to access while awake. In the dream world, there are no restrictions of physics, no laws that limit your thoughts, and no critics to hold you back. You can compose music without ever touching an instrument, design an invention without needing tools, or paint a canvas across the sky without worrying about color, size, or technique. The imagination runs free in lucid dreams because the subconscious mind has no boundaries, and when you awaken, the brilliance of those dream experiments can spark ideas in the waking world. Throughout history, great thinkers have admitted that their inspiration came from dreams. But when lucidity is added, it is like giving yourself a laboratory of infinite possibilities. An architect might dream of entire cities and then wake up with new designs. A musician may hear a melody within a lucid dream and later recreate it in reality. A writer may find themselves living out a story scene by scene and then put it onto paper with fresh detail. These are not accidents, but demonstrations of how the subconscious holds more creativity than we realize. By learning to lucid dream, we learn to dip into that endless ocean of imagination and bring its treasures into our lives. Beyond creativity, lucid dreaming serves a much deeper purpose. It helps us confront fear. Many people carry hidden fears: fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of heights, fear of confrontation. And often these fears limit the choices we make in real life. In the dream state, however, the danger is not real. This stage is safe and the environment is controlled. When a nightmare arrives, instead of being trapped, a lucid dreamer can recognize it and take charge. Imagine being chased by a shadowy figure in your dream, but instead of running in terror, you stop, turn around, and face it. You might even choose to speak to it, to transform it, or to dissolve it altogether. What once terrified you suddenly loses its power because you chose courage inside the dream. That act of bravery does not stay in the dream world. It plants a seed of strength in your waking mind. Lucid dreams are powerful tools for people who experience recurring nightmares, especially those dealing with trauma. Instead of reliving fear over and over, they can use lucidity to change the ending, to stand strong, and to rewrite the story. This process can bring real emotional healing. When you face fear in your subconscious, you teach your conscious mind that fear is an illusion, a wall that can be broken. Slowly, this practice creates resilience. You begin to carry the same mindset into real challenges. The interview that once made you nervous becomes easier. The conversation you were afraid to have feels possible, and the self-doubt you once carried begins to fade. What makes this even more remarkable is that the skills you build in lucid dreams are not imaginary. They are deeply connected to your psychology. When you choose bravery in a dream, your brain still processes it as an act of courage. When you choose creativity in a dream, your brain still activates those areas of imagination. That is why athletes sometimes use lucid dreaming to rehearse movements, and why professionals in different fields have trained themselves to solve problems during dreams. It is practice in the safest and most expansive space possible, the subconscious mind. The connection between creativity and fear also runs deep. Fear often blocks imagination because when we are afraid, we limit ourselves. We do not explore, we do not take risks, and we do not experiment. But in the lucid dream, fear can be transformed into curiosity. Instead of avoiding the monster, you ask why it is there. Instead of fearing the fall, you spread your wings and fly. Each moment of courage clears away another layer of limitation, allowing your creativity to flow more freely. It is in this balance that lucid dreaming reveals its true power. It is both an art studio for the imagination and a training ground for the soul. When you wake up after a lucid dream, you carry more than just a memory of adventure. You carry insight, inspiration, and confidence. You might wake up with the outline of a new idea, or with the quiet realization that something you feared yesterday no longer has the same grip on you. That is the gift of lucid dreaming. It takes the world within and teaches you how to transform the world outside. By engaging with our creativity and confronting our fears, we not only dream better, we live better. Lucid dreaming is one of the most fascinating discoveries of the human mind because it merges imagination, emotion, and awareness into a single experience. It is the state of knowing that you are dreaming while still inside the dream, and this awareness transforms an ordinary night of sleep into an extraordinary journey of self-discovery. When people learn to dream lucidly, they unlock three of the most powerful abilities hidden within the subconscious mind: the ability to expand creativity, the ability to confront and heal from fear, and the ability to deepen self-awareness in both the dream world and waking life. First, consider the creative potential of lucid dreams. In our daily lives, creativity is often restrained by rules, deadlines, and self-doubt. But when you step into the lucid dream, those restraints vanish. The dream world becomes a limitless canvas where the laws of nature no longer apply. You can create entire landscapes, design buildings, compose music, or even live out stories in vivid detail, as though your imagination has come alive around you. Many artists, writers, and inventors have spoken of dreams as a source of inspiration, but lucidity takes this further by giving you direct control. Imagine standing in your dream and deciding to paint a masterpiece, or play a melody you've never heard before, or experiment with ideas too bold for waking life. The subconscious stores countless images and possibilities, and lucid dreaming provides a gateway to explore them. Often people wake up with fresh ideas, new insights, and innovative solutions that came from these dream explorations. Yet the benefits of lucid dreaming are not only artistic, they are also deeply emotional. One of the most powerful uses of lucidity is the ability to face fear in a safe environment. Many of us carry fears that shape the choices we make: fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of danger, or even recurring nightmares that seem to haunt us. In an ordinary dream, these fears can overwhelm us, but in a lucid dream, the story changes. Instead of running from a monster, you can stop and face it. Instead of falling endlessly, you can take control and fly. In that moment, your mind learns a vital lesson. Fear loses its power when you face it. This practice inside the dream does not remain there. It carries into the waking day. A person who has conquered fear in their dream is more likely to feel stronger and more confident when challenges arise in real life. That is why lucid dreaming is sometimes used as a healing tool for trauma, as people can rewrite frightening dream scenarios into experiences of courage and victory, bringing emotional relief and resilience. This process of confronting fear is deeply connected to the third gift of lucid dreaming, self-awareness. To experience lucidity, one must learn to question reality. Dreamers often use reality checks, small habits like asking themselves, "Am I dreaming?" throughout the day. This habit carries into sleep, and eventually the dreamer recognizes the dream as a dream. What begins as a practice for dreaming soon strengthens mindfulness in daily life. You become more aware of your surroundings, your choices, and your emotions. You start to notice the details of the present moment that once slipped by unnoticed. Lucid dreaming, then, becomes not just a nighttime skill, but a life practice of awareness. Self-awareness in dreams also means that you are able to reflect on yourself in a unique way. Some people use lucid dreams to meet parts of themselves represented as characters in their dream. Others use it to practice conversations or decisions they are afraid to make in real life. By doing so, they learn about their strengths, weaknesses, and hidden desires. This level of awareness leads to growth because the more we understand ourselves, the better we can shape our waking lives. The awareness gained from lucid dreaming is like holding up a mirror, one that reflects not just our imagination, but our inner truths. When you combine these three elements, creativity, courage, and awareness, the power of lucid dreaming becomes clear. The creativity discovered in the dream world fuels innovation in reality. The courage gained from facing fears in a dream translates into confidence in waking challenges. The self-awareness cultivated by lucidity leads to mindfulness and intentional living. Together, they show that lucid dreaming is not an escape from life, but a way to enrich it. It reminds us that the human mind is far more powerful and resourceful than we often believe. So, when we close our eyes at night, we should remember that sleep is not merely rest. It is an opportunity to explore the vast landscapes of our subconscious, to practice creativity, to heal from fear, and to become more aware of who we are. Lucid dreaming is the bridge between imagination and reality, between fear and freedom, between unconscious patterns and conscious growth. And those who learn to walk across that bridge discover not only the limitless world of dreams, but also a stronger, more awakened life waiting for them each morning. Lucid dreaming is one of the most intriguing frontiers of the human mind because it merges imagination, courage, awareness, and even a sense of mystery into one experience. To dream with lucidity is to step into a world where you are no longer bound by the ordinary rules of life. Instead of simply drifting through a dream, you awaken within it, aware that you are dreaming, and in that awareness lies a freedom that can change the way you see both sleep and waking reality. This state of consciousness is not just a curiosity, it is a doorway into creativity, emotional healing, deeper self-awareness, and even the meeting place of science and spirituality. One of the first gifts people notice when they begin lucid dreaming is a surge of creativity and imagination. In the waking world, our creativity is often confined by logic, rules, and the expectations of others. But inside a lucid dream, the canvas is infinite and the boundaries fall away. You can design a city that defies the laws of physics, compose music that rises from the colors of the sky, or create stories that unfold around you like living theater. Every thought becomes form, every idea takes shape instantly. Artists, writers, and thinkers throughout history have credited dreams as inspiration, but lucid dreaming gives you conscious access to that endless well of creativity. The imagination flows freely when you can shape the dream, and many people awaken with fresh insights and ideas that transform their work in the real world. Yet lucid dreaming is not only a playground of imagination, it is also a place of courage. In ordinary dreams, we are often trapped by fear. We run from monsters, fall from great heights, or face rejection and failure without control. But when lucidity dawns, the script changes. Instead of running, you stop. Instead of falling, you decide to fly. Instead of hiding, you face the very thing that terrifies you. In this safe dream space, fear loses its grip because you are in charge. This shift is powerful, not just for the dream itself, but for the waking mind. When you practice courage in your dreams, your brain registers it as real courage, and that confidence carries into daily life. People who suffer recurring nightmares can use lucid dreaming to rewrite their endings, replacing helplessness with strength. Over time, the dream practice becomes emotional healing, turning fear into resilience and trauma into empowerment. This transformation through lucid dreaming is deeply tied to self-awareness. To become lucid, you must first learn to recognize patterns, to question reality, and to stay present even in the midst of illusion. These habits, practiced by dreamers through reality checks and mindfulness exercises, do not remain in the dream alone. They follow you into the waking day. You start to notice details around you more vividly, to reflect more deeply on your thoughts and actions, and to live with greater intention. The awareness gained in lucid dreaming is like sharpening a lens through which you see both your dreams and your reality more clearly. Some people use lucid dreams to meet parts of themselves, inner voices that take the shape of characters or guides. Others use them to explore unresolved questions or to rehearse important choices. In each case, lucidity becomes a mirror that reflects the truth of who we are and who we could become. And when we look deeper, lucid dreaming reveals something even more extraordinary. It bridges the worlds of science and spirituality. For centuries, mystics and sages have spoken of dreams as gateways to higher realms, places where the soul could travel and wisdom could be found. Modern science, meanwhile, has studied lucid dreaming in laboratories, measuring brain activity during REM sleep, and even receiving prearranged signals from lucid dreamers who move their eyes in patterns while asleep. This remarkable evidence proves that lucid dreaming is a real state of consciousness, one that combines the measurable with the mysterious. On one hand, it is a neurological phenomenon, explained through brain waves and cognitive function. On the other hand, it still carries the wonder of a spiritual journey, a reminder that there are realms of human experience that transcend ordinary limits. When science and spirituality meet in lucid dreaming, we are reminded that the mind is vast and that human potential is far from fully explored. Taken together, these aspects show the true richness of lucid dreaming. It is a space where creativity flows without limits, where fear can be faced and transformed, where awareness of self is sharpened, and where the scientific and the spiritual touch hands. For some, it is a playground. For others, it is therapy. For many, it is a mystery that deepens their sense of life itself. But for all, it is a reminder that within the simple act of sleep lies a world of possibilities waiting to be discovered. To dream lucidly is to awaken not only in the night, but also in the day, carrying the lessons of imagination, courage, awareness, and wonder into every step of life. Lucid dreaming is one of the most powerful frontiers of the human mind, an experience that opens us to imagination, courage, awareness, and even discovery. It is the state of becoming conscious within a dream, realizing that what is happening is not bound by the limits of the waking world, and in that realization gaining the ability to shape the experience. At first glance, it may sound like a fantasy, but lucid dreaming is real. It is measurable, and it is a skill that anyone can develop. More than just an unusual phenomenon of sleep, it is a practice that enhances creativity, helps us overcome fear, deepens self-awareness, bridges the gap between science and spirituality, and shows us that with training and discipline, even our dreams can be mastered. The first gift of lucid dreaming is the way it sets creativity free. In the waking world, imagination is often constrained by logic, by rules, or by the fear of failure. In a lucid dream, none of those restraints exist. A person can create an entire city that floats on clouds, compose music from the colors of the sky, or write stories by living them in real time. Many artists and inventors throughout history have admitted that dreams gave them inspiration, but lucidity adds intention to that process. You are no longer a passive receiver of dream imagery. You become the director of your subconscious theater. Each night becomes a workshop of endless possibility, and what is discovered there often carries back into the waking day as fresh ideas, innovative solutions, and renewed imagination. Alongside creativity, lucid dreaming offers a profound tool for courage and healing. Fear often dominates dreams, whether in the form of nightmares, falling from heights, being chased, or feeling powerless. In an ordinary dream, these fears overwhelm us, but in a lucid dream, the dreamer has a choice. Instead of fleeing, you can stop and face the threat. Instead of falling, you can spread your arms and fly. Instead of hiding from rejection, you can speak with confidence. These victories inside the dream are not imaginary. The brain processes them as real acts of courage. Over time, this practice weakens the grip of fear in waking life. People suffering from recurring nightmares or trauma can use lucid dreaming to rewrite those frightening patterns into empowering ones, creating a safe space for emotional healing. Fear transforms into strength, and the dream becomes a rehearsal for real life resilience. This process is closely tied to self-awareness. To become lucid, you must learn to question reality, to notice details, and to remain mindful even when surrounded by illusions. Practicing these habits by day, checking whether you are awake or dreaming, paying attention to small details, cultivating awareness, leads to lucidity at night, but the effect does not stop when you wake. Those same habits sharpen your attention in daily life. You begin to see more clearly, to live more intentionally, and to recognize your emotions and choices with greater clarity. Lucid dreaming thus becomes a mirror, showing you not only the world of your subconscious, but also the deeper truths about yourself. It teaches mindfulness in both states, helping you wake up not just in dreams, but also in life. Even more fascinating is the way lucid dreaming stands at the crossroads of science and spirituality. For centuries, spiritual traditions described dreams as gateways to higher realms, journeys of the soul, or moments of divine insight. Modern science, on the other hand, has studied lucid dreaming in laboratories, identifying the REM sleep phase as its home and proving its existence through eye movement signals made by dreamers while asleep. Brain scans reveal activity patterns during lucidity that resemble both wakefulness and dreaming, making it a unique hybrid state of consciousness. In this way, lucid dreaming is both a subject of spiritual wonder and scientific fact, a place where measurable data meets timeless mystery. It reminds us that the mind is vast and that human experience stretches far beyond ordinary waking thought. What makes lucid dreaming most exciting is that it can be learned. It is not the gift of a few. It is a skill that can be cultivated through patience and discipline. By keeping a dream journal, practicing reality checks, meditating before sleep, or using techniques like the wake, back to bed method, anyone can increase their chances of becoming lucid. Like learning an instrument or mastering a sport, it requires training and consistency. At first, lucidity may come only in brief flashes, but over time it grows stronger and more reliable. With practice, the dreamer learns not only to recognize the dream, but also to shape it, to extend it, and to use it with purpose. The discipline itself becomes valuable, teaching persistence, focus, and the rewarding truth that mastery is possible even in the realm of dreams. When we look at these gifts together, creativity that overflows, fears that are conquered, awareness that deepens, the harmony of science and spirituality, and the knowledge that this state can be trained, we begin to see that lucid dreaming is not simply entertainment. It is a profound human experience, a reminder that within us lies a world as vast as the one around us. Each night, as we close our eyes, we carry the possibility of awakening into that world, of exploring it with courage, shaping it with imagination, and returning from it with insights that can change our waking lives. Lucid dreaming is one of the most remarkable abilities of the human mind, a doorway into imagination, courage, awareness, discovery, discipline, and transformation. It is the experience of realizing that you are dreaming while still within the dream, a moment when ordinary sleep turns into an extraordinary adventure. At that point, you are no longer a passive traveler in a strange world, but an active creator, shaping what unfolds around you. Though it may sound like fantasy, it is real. It has been studied by science, and it can be cultivated by anyone who is willing to practice. What makes lucid dreaming so powerful is not only the thrill of the experience itself, but the lasting impact it has on creativity, emotional strength, self-awareness, spirituality, discipline, and personal growth. One of the most immediate benefits of lucid dreaming is the way it sets imagination free. In our waking lives, creativity often faces walls of practicality, doubt, or fear of judgment. Inside a lucid dream, those barriers dissolve. The mind is given a limitless stage where thoughts take form instantly. You can paint with the stars, compose music out of colors, build cities in the clouds, or live out stories that unfold like a film you direct. Many artists, writers, and innovators have drawn inspiration from dreams, but lucidity allows you to consciously engage with that inspiration. You are not merely watching imagination work, you are actively creating within it, and the ideas discovered there can flow back into the waking world, fueling new art, inventions, and solutions. But lucid dreaming is not just about creativity. It is also a place of courage and emotional healing. Dreams often bring us face to face with our deepest fears, falling, being chased, losing control, or feeling powerless. In an ordinary dream, those fears overwhelm us. But with lucidity, the dreamer can pause, turn, and face them. A monster can become a friend, a fall can turn into flight, a nightmare can shift into empowerment. This act of confronting fear in the subconscious mind carries over into daily life. The brain interprets it as real courage, building resilience and strength. People who suffer from trauma or recurring nightmares have used lucid dreaming to rewrite their stories, transforming helplessness into empowerment. In this way, lucid dreams become a safe laboratory for bravery and a space for healing the heart. This courage is linked closely with self-awareness. To dream lucidly, you must learn to question reality, to notice details, to practice mindfulness. These habits sharpen awareness not only in sleep, but also in waking life. Suddenly, you notice things you once overlooked. You become more intentional in your actions, more reflective in your choices, more awake to the present moment. Some dreamers use lucidity to meet aspects of themselves, encountering figures in their dreams that reflect hidden emotions, inner conflicts, or unspoken desires. By engaging with these dream characters, they discover truths about who they are. This kind of awareness is transformative because the more you understand yourself, the better you can shape your life. Lucid dreaming, therefore, is not an escape but a mirror, one that reflects the depths of your own consciousness. What makes lucid dreaming even more profound is the way it bridges science and spirituality. For centuries, sages and mystics spoke of dreams as sacred journeys, paths to wisdom, or glimpses into higher realms. Today, scientists have measured lucid dreaming in laboratories, confirming its reality through brain scans and eye movement signals. Lucid dreamers can communicate with researchers while asleep, proving that this state of consciousness is both measurable and mysterious. On one hand, it is a neurological phenomenon explained by brain activity during REM sleep. On the other, it still carries the awe of a spiritual experience, where people report feelings of unity, transcendence, and deeper meaning. In this sense, lucid dreaming stands at a unique crossroads, showing that human experience is both scientific and spiritual at once. Equally exciting is the fact that lucid dreaming can be trained. It is not limited to a rare few. It is a skill that can be developed with practice and patience. Dream journaling, reality checks, meditation, and methods like waking briefly before returning to sleep all increase the likelihood of lucidity. At first, it may come in flashes, moments of realization, but with discipline, those moments grow stronger and longer. Like learning to play music or master a sport, lucid dreaming requires effort, but the rewards are extraordinary. Training the mind to awaken in dreams also strengthens focus, persistence, and mindfulness in daily life. It is a discipline that enriches both night and day. All of these aspects, creativity, courage, awareness, spirituality, and discipline, come together to create something even greater, personal growth. Lucid dreaming teaches us that we are not as limited as we think. If we can fly in dreams, why not believe we can rise in life? If we can face monsters in the subconscious, why not face challenges with courage when awake? If we can shape dream worlds, why not shape our destiny? Lucid dreaming inspires transformation because it reminds us of our inner power. It shows that imagination is not mere fantasy but a force, that fear is not permanent but conquerable, and that awareness can light the path toward a more intentional life. Lucid dreaming is therefore more than a nighttime adventure. It is a profound journey of the mind and soul, a practice that enriches creativity, heals fear, sharpens awareness, bridges mystery with science, disciplines the mind, and awakens personal transformation. Each night, as we drift into sleep, we carry within us the chance to awaken into this hidden world, to explore it with courage and wonder, and to bring back lessons that make our waking lives more powerful, more mindful, and more alive. So, as you close your eyes tonight, remember that sleep is not the end of the day. It is the beginning of discovery. Every dream carries the chance to awaken, to paint without limits, to face fear with courage, to know yourself more deeply, and to rise beyond boundaries you once thought were unshakable. Lucid dreaming is more than an escape. It is a rehearsal for life itself, a reminder that the power to create, to heal, and to transform is already within you. If you can awaken in your dreams, then you can awaken in your life. And when you do, there will be no dream too big, no fear too strong, and no horizon too far.